One pink wheel here. This is a 2007 Mazda 3. We're going to be changing the automatic transmission fluid as well as the ATF filter. Tools we're going to need, not many. Jacks and jack stands, of course. Probably a breaker bar, ratchet. This is a H8 hex size, 10mm socket with maybe a little bit of an extension, and that's about it as far as tools that we're going to need. And of course, something to catch the transmission fluid. Oh, and this is the big one. We need a transmission fluid funnel, and if you get a 3/8 inch tube, rubber tube, that'll help out a lot too. We're going to fill it in through the dipstick hole. That's the way you fill it. Okay, and parts that we're going to need. We're going to need 4.5 quarts of ATF fluid. I like this fluid because I can use it both my Mazdas and my Hondas. So it needs to be Mazda M-V. Make sure it's not, it can be Mercon 5V also, but not, it's got to be the Mazda M-V. That's what you need. So 4.5 quarts of that, and then we're also going to need a filter. And this is what the filter looks like. It just kind of fits up in there, snaps in place. I'll show you what we're going to do. You're going to also need a gasket for that drain pan. So make sure that when you buy the filter, you get a kit that comes with a gasket. And then before you take off your drain pan, kind of fit this up around to make sure you got the right one. Otherwise, you've dropped your drain pan and you're not going to be able to fill it until you get a new one. Okay, overview of what we're going to do. This is your ATF dipstick. We want to pull that out a little bit so we can get some air flowing in there. As we drain it out, it will drain easier. And then underneath here, underneath the car, this is on the driver's side. This is the transmission oil pan, ATF pan. First, we're going to open this plug with the hex tool, let it drain out, and then the messy part is we have to take all of these 10mm bolts out, drop this whole thing, and that's where the filter is, underneath there. Easy job, but a little bit messy. So here we go. So once you have the pan off, make sure that you take the old gasket off. And then you want to clean this. You don't have to clean the whole thing out, but the major thing you want to clean is this, which is the magnet, which will have, actually the whole thing comes right off like that. And this magnet has a bunch of very fine metallic particles that you just want to clean off. And that's what it's doing its job by catching some of those metal particles. Doesn't mess up your transmission. And that's just normal wear and tear. I would not recommend, I do not recommend using any kind of soap, because if you use any kind of soap in here, you're going to have to make sure you rinse it out very, very well, because you don't want any soap inside your transmission, which is a natural degreaser, because the oil, it'll actually fight the oil. And put it back on that little nub so it doesn't move around, and boom. And then you'll want to place your new, that's my new one, goes something like this maybe, yeah. You're going to want to place it like that. And then maybe get one of your screws, see if it can hold it. Yeah. So if you get a couple of these, you can have it held in place so it doesn't move around. Hopefully this isn't the first time you've been changing yours, but if it is, I believe Mazda uses a you'll have to scrape the Mazda one off, which is a real pain to do. So this is what I have rigged up to fill the ATF fluid. Got bungee cords holding up my funnel. It goes down into the into the ATF dipstick. There's the 3/8 inch rubber hose, fills right in there. And the difficulty now is you have to fill this up very slowly, because the air bubbles will bubble up and then it'll push it up and it'll overflow your funnel. So you got to just build it up slowly, and when it starts to fill up, you got to let it just drain and then pour a little more in, and just got to be patient. And it's definitely tries your patience here. But if you pour it too fast, it's going to bubble up, it's going to overflow, and then it'll mess up. You won't know how much you put in and all that kind of stuff.